In the year 2148, explorers on Mars discovered the remains of an ancient spacefaring civilization. In the decades that followed, these mysterious artifacts revealed startling new technologies, enabling travel to the further stars. The basis for this incredible technology was a force that controlled the very fabric of space and time. They called it the greatest discovery in human history. The civilizations of the galaxy call it mass effect. The Mass Effect core of the SSV Normandy pulsed and thundered with calculated intensity. A mesmerizing symphony of highly advanced human and Turian engineering. The vibrations rippled through the surrounding terminals, making the holographic data readings quiver in response. The Normandy was in close proximity to the Arcturus relay, and Commander Shepard was finalizing the inspection of the engineering deck. The commander made his rounds throughout the ship, discovering that maybe the Normandy could definitely benefit from certain Turian weapon calibrations. Shepard revisited his orders from Alliance Command, strategizing about the best course of action upon arrival. The next destination? Eden Prime, one of the first human colonies on the borders of Citadel space that recently sent out a distress signal. Shepard wasn't convinced, however, from the official story. Something about the Alliance narrative felt nebulous. This was not a standard mission, not by a long shot, especially considering the parameters of the limited available intel about a strange artifact uncovered on Eden Prime. In addition, the caliber of one of the passengers aboard the Normandy for this particular mission was too prestigious for it to be just another routine assignment. That passenger was Nihilus, a renowned Turian Spectre brought by the Council, only added to the sense of unease knowing at Shepard's gut. The captain of the Normandy, David Anderson, a decorated war hero, was rarely keeping Shepard in the dark. This was ill news, but Shepard was to be briefed shortly. Whatever was buried there caused its fair share of concern. An ugly world with a dark secret? As it turned out, the unfortunate human colonists of Eden Prime would receive a visit from a powerful entity across the far stretches of the endless void, a corrupting force of reckoning from long-forgotten eons, accompanied by an indoctrinated general and an army of synthetics that overrun both civilian and military targets, wreaking chaos and destruction across the surface. The fortunate colonists were those that fell in the first waves of the attack. Those that were captured, however, suffered a most gruesome fate. Shepard's intuition was seldom wrong. Something unnatural was underway. The commander tried to dispel the thought. All objectives from Alliance Command must be met, despite the lack of intel. The commander made his way through familiar corridors, reaching the Normandy's bridge. He left the hum of the engines behind him, and it was quickly met with a barrage of constant streams of lights and holographic data projections. As the Mass Effect narrative unfolds, Shepard's unease and concern in various situations becomes quite palpable, reflecting the gravity of the increasingly important missions in which he finds himself entangled. This trait, among many others, makes him quite relatable in the eyes of his team. He's not a know-it-all leader, but rather acknowledges any ignorance with humility and eagerness to learn and adapt. With engineering, personnel, and navigation stations all accounted for, Shepard proceeded to the armory for one final inspection and to gear up for the upcoming mission. He was unsure of what to anticipate, especially whilst working with a Turian Spectre, but humanity must do its part, as his captain, David Anderson, always said. Lieutenant Moreau's voice echoed throughout the ship, alerting all crew to man their stations. The final approach run towards the Arcturus Prime relay has begun. Lieutenant Moreau, nicknamed Joker by an instructor of his back at the academy, was one of the best pilots that the Alliance military had to offer and an exceptional helmsman for the SSV Normandy. Commander Shepard, now equipped in full war gear, made haste towards the helm. And with Joker's countdown to reach Eden Prime, thus begins the epic saga of Mass Effect.
The Arcturus Prime relay is in range. Initiating transmission sequence.
Commander?
We are connected. Calculating transit mass and destination. The relay is hot, acquiring approach vector. All stations secure for transit. The board is green. Approach run has begun. Hitting the relay in 3, 2, 1.
The roaring vibrations upon exiting the Mass Effect relay finally subsided, and the Normandy left Arcturus Station behind it. Flight Lieutenant Moreau, Joker, was actually born and raised in the Arcturus Station. It would be safe to assume that, after this mission, he's moving away from home in more ways than one. Joker suffers from a disease called Vrolik's syndrome, similar to brittle bone disease, making him virtually unable to tolerate extended physical mobility. However, that will not stop him from pushing through the pain when needed. Joker manages a near impossible arrival by delivering his famous line of "Drift, just under 1500K. This is what being the best pilot in the Alliance means in practice.
Thrusters, check. Navigation, check. Internal emissions sync engaged. All systems online. Drift, just under 1500K.
1500 is good. Your captain will be pleased.
I hate that guy.
Nihilus gave you a compliment. So you hate him.
You remember to zip up your jumpsuit on the way out of the bathroom? That's good. I just jumped us halfway across the galaxy and hit a target the size of a pinhead, so that's incredible. Besides, Spectres are trouble. I don't like having them on board. Call me paranoid.
You're paranoid. The Council helped fund this project. They have a right to send someone to keep an eye on their investment.
Yeah, that is the official story. But only an idiot believes the official story.
They don't send Spectres on shakedown runs.
So there's more going on here than the captain's letting on.
Joker, status report.
Just cleared the mass relay, Captain. Stealth systems engaged. Everything looks solid.
Good. Find a comm buoy and link us into the network. I want mission reports relayed back to Alliance brass before we reach Eden Prime.
Aye, aye, Captain. Better brace yourself, sir. I think Nihilus is headed your way.
He's already here, Lieutenant. Tell Commander Shepard to meet me in the comm room for a debriefing.
You get that, Commander?
I'm on my way.
Is it me or does the Captain always sound a little pissed off?
Only when he's talking to you, Joker.
Mass Effect veterans already know that Joker plays a vital part in the upcoming battles, manning the helm of the Normandy. On his right is Staff Lieutenant Kaidan Alenko, a Systems Alliance officer and head of the Normandy's Marine detail. He's also a powerful biotic, capable of manipulating dark energy, generating smaller Mass Effect fields, and utilizing telekinesis, protective barriers, and forced stasis to enemy forces. Kaidan suffers from certain debilitating health problems. This is due to his L2 biotic implants, which can cause pain spikes, extensive migraines, sensitivity to lights and noise, among many others. Kaidan is a loyal lieutenant with an unwavering commitment to duty. Although certain actions from Shepard force Kaidan to question his commanding officer's choices and posit some hard-hitting questions in the following years, his inquiries are not made out of defiance, but due to his moral compass and steadfast principles. Come to think of it, I believe that other than EDI in the later games, Kaidan is a pretty good counterpart for Joker in the cockpit, since he really does keep him grounded, pun intended. I'm interested in your opinion about this. Out of all the Mass Effect characters, who do you think is a good partner to not only confront, but also enhance Joker's sense of humor and have an amazing back and forth? Commander Shepard steps out of the cockpit, entrusting Kaidan to brave the incessant, merciless, albeit accurate observations and witticisms from Joker. Shepard is greeted by the Navigator, sharing his thoughts.
Congratulations, Commander. Looks like we had a smooth run. You heading down to see the captain?
Sounds like you don't trust our Turian guest.
Sorry, Commander. Just having a chat with Adams down at engineering. I didn't mean to cause any trouble. But you have to admit, something's odd about this mission. The whole crew feels it.
You think the Alliance brass is holding out on us?
If all we're supposed to do is test out the stealth system, why is Captain Anderson in charge? And then there's Nihilus. Spectres are elite operatives, top covert agents. Why send a Spectre, a Turian Spectre, on a shakedown run? It doesn't add up.
I'll see if I can get some answers when I see him.
Good luck, Commander.
Although Shepard does not get to interact with Charles Presley a lot, he holds a vital role in the Normandy as the Navigator. He is usually found in the bridge, analyzing and assessing navigation data, charting new courses, planning and offering strategic situational analyses when needed. Although this is not explicitly shown in dialogue or any cutscenes, the Navigator holds a dark secret. A deep-rooted resentment towards the other races, the non-human ones during the first missions in Mass Effect 1. We can get this brief window into his thoughts, however, when accessing his personal logs in Mass Effect 2. Corporal Richard L. Jenkins was talking with Dr. Karen Chakwas and eagerly awaiting to steal, if possible, a few minutes with the commander and inquire about the upcoming mission. That kid, always at ease, even in the most formal military settings.
I grew up on Eden Prime, Doc. It's not the kind of place Spectres visit. There's something Nihilus isn't telling us about this mission.
That's crazy. The captain's in charge here. He wouldn't take orders from a Spectre.
Not his choice, Doc. Spectres don't answer to anyone. They can do whatever they want, kill anyone who gets in their way.
He's rather startled when his commanding officer arrives unnoticed behind him. This is not the first time that Shepard has caught the corporal slacking off on the bridge. Upon noticing his CO, Jenkins suddenly halts his conversation with the doctor. Eyebrows raised, fists closed tight, his body jolted upwards. He stood up straight, with his shoulders back, just like Shepard always urged him to do so, and saluted.
What do you think, Commander? We won't be staying on Eden Prime too long, will we? I'm itching for some real action.
I sincerely hope you're kidding, Corporal. Your real action usually ends with me patching up crew members in the infirmary.
Only a fool goes looking for a fight, Corporal.
Sorry, Commander, but this waiting's killing me. I've never been on a mission like this before, not one with a Spectre on board.
What can you tell me about Nihilus?
Turians are generally well respected by the other species. Their fleet has more patrols protecting Citadel space than any other. They don't always get on well with us, though. Some people find them too rigid. Others still blame them for the First Contact War. As for Nihilus, I haven't said more than 2 words to him. He usually only speaks to the captain.
I heard Nihilus once took down an entire enemy platoon all by himself. Man, I can't believe I'm on a mission with an actual Spectre.
What do you know about the Spectres?
Only what I've heard. Spectre agents work directly for the Citadel Council. They usually work alone or in small groups. Spectres don't have any official power, though. Basically, they're a shadow organization with a mandate to preserve and protect galactic stability.
Protect it at any cost. Don't forget that part. Spectres operate above the law.
Why don't we have any of our own people in there?
Spectres usually come from the Council races, like the Turians. We've been trying to get a human accepted into their ranks for years now. So far, it hasn't happened.
Hey, Commander, you'd make a good Spectre. You're always getting dropped into impossible situations, forced to survive unbeatable odds, just like you on a cruise.
Jenkins idolizes Shepard. In his eyes, the commander is a certified pro, unmatched in skill and ferocity. He was always amazed by Shepard's mastery over every conceivable firearm in the Alliance arsenal, particularly shotguns.
I try not to think about Akuz.
Sorry, Commander. I didn't mean to offend you. I respect what you did there. We all do.
Let's not dwell on the past, Commander. Was there something else you needed?
You're from Eden Prime, aren't you, Jenkins? What's it like?
It's very peaceful, Commander. They've been real careful with development, so you don't have any city noise or pollution. My parents lived on the outskirts of the colony. At night, I used to climb this big hill and stare across the fields back at the lights from the main settlement. It was gorgeous. But when I got older, I realized it was a little too calm and quiet for me. That's why I joined the Alliance. Even Paradise gets boring after a while.
Any idea why Eden Prime was chosen as our destination?
Not really sure, Commander. Eden Prime's one of our most stable colonies. Good place to take the Normandy for a shakedown run, I guess. No real danger there. There's gotta be something else going on. We've got a Spectre on board. That's why I'm so wound up. I can't wait for the real mission to start.
The kid is always itching for a fight in the battlefield, and Shepard was trying to help him tame those instincts internally. During his limited free time, Shepard even accompanied him in the armory firing range for some quick shooting tips, teaching him about warfare and advanced military tactics of other Alliance corps, psychological defenses in case of capture, and controlled aggression in the battlefield.
Just treat this like every other assignment you've had and everything will work out.
Easy for you to say. You proved yourself on a cruise. Everybody knows what you can do. This is my big chance. I need to show the brass what I can do.
That fire in Jenkins' eyes was unmistakable. Shepard had seen that fire many times in his past comrades. Only few managed to keep it in check. When it takes hold, it can consume everything around it, and, if left unchecked, can easily be extinguished, along with its host. The commander released his modified shotgun from its holster, checked the safety, and spent a few seconds showcasing some of its features. Corroded metal due to thresher maw acid still noticeable on the grip and around the muzzle. Jenkins' eyes widened in amazement. "You helped me navigate your home turf in Eden Prime," Shepard bargained. "Keep your head in the game. Support your fellow soldiers without visiting the good doctor in the infirmary again, and when we return from our mission, I will give you this. The shotgun that survived a cruise with me and made thresher maws think twice before unhinging their jaws." Jenkins' voice faltered, betraying his joyful gratitude. "Yes, sir. Thank you, sir." Shepard's charisma was unquestionable, but so was his wrath in times of crisis. "I expect you to fall in line, Corporal. Do not make me regret this."
This mission isn't about personal glory, Corporal. We have a job to do. Don't do anything stupid to mess it up.
Don't worry, sir. I'm not gonna screw this up.
The captain's waiting for me.
Goodbye, Commander.
The commander heads towards the briefing room to meet Captain Anderson and Nihilus.
Commander Shepard, I was hoping you'd get here first. It will give us a chance to talk.
The captain said he'd meet me here.
He's on his way. I'm interested in this world we're going to, Eden Prime. I've heard it's quite beautiful.
They say it's a paradise.
Yes, a paradise. Serene, tranquil, safe. Eden Prime has become something of a symbol for your people, hasn't it? Proof that humanity can not only establish colonies across the galaxy, but also protect them. But how safe is it really?
What does the Spectre know?
Do you know something?
Your people are still newcomers, Shepard. The galaxy can be a very dangerous place. Is the Alliance truly ready for this?
I think it's about time we told the commander what's really going on.
This mission is far more than a simple shakedown run.
I already figured that out.
We're making a covert pickup on Eden Prime. That's why we needed the stealth systems operational.
There must be a reason you didn't tell me about this, sir.
This comes down from the top, Commander. Information strictly on a need-to-know basis. A research team on Eden Prime unearthed some kind of beacon during an excavation. It was Prothean.
Protheans. A race of beings that reached the apex of technological prowess. They build a mighty empire upon the shattered rocks and splintered bones of conquered worlds. Fueled by secret knowledge passed on from another fallen race, the Inusanon. The Protheans developed Mass Effect technologies, devastating weapons, and held the galaxy on a tight grip through martial supremacy and cultural dominance. Years turned to centuries, turned to millennia, but eventually, no amount of scientific breakthroughs, forced unity, or shared banners between conquered worlds could prepare them for the coming onslaught. Drowned in a consuming tide, ushered by the Dark Ones from beyond. The Reapers. Beings devoid of the curse of organic consciousness. Always were, always are, each a nation, each a god. The pinnacle of existence across the stars. Thus, the Protheans went from conquerors to restless oblivion. Now, their few remaining artifacts, shouting muffled screams, warnings of total annihilation. Offering visions of a repeating prophecy, counting endless cycles. A prophecy of the dying of the light yet to come once more. As it always were, as it always will be. A grim reminder of the futility of organic existence, but perhaps a tool, perhaps a weapon, for the ones that are willing to sacrifice everything to stem the tide of darkness.
I thought the Protheans vanished 50,000 years ago.
Their legacy still remains. The mass relays, the Citadel, our ship drives. It's all based on Prothean technology.
This is big, Shepard. The last time humanity made a discovery like this, it jumped our technology forward 200 years. But Eden Prime doesn't have the facilities to handle something like this. We need to bring the beacon back to the Citadel for proper study.
Obviously, this goes beyond mere human interests, Commander. This discovery could affect every species in Council space.
Are we expecting trouble?
I'm always expecting trouble.
There's more, Shepard. Nihilus isn't just here for the beacon. He's also here to evaluate you.
What's going on, Captain?
The Alliance has been pushing for this for a long time. Humanity wants a larger role in shaping interstellar policy. We want more say with the Citadel Council. The Spectres represent the Council's power and authority. If they accept a human into their ranks, it shows how far the Alliance has come.
Not many could have survived what you went through on Akuz. You showed a remarkable will to live, a particularly useful talent. That's why I put your name forward as a candidate for the Spectres.
Why would a Turian want a human in the Spectres?
Not all Turians resent humanity. Some of us see the potential of your species. We see what you have to offer to the rest of the galaxy, and to the Spectres. We are an elite group. It's rare to find an individual with the skills we seek. I don't care that you're human, Shepard. I only care that you can do the job.
I assume this is good for the Alliance.
Earth needs this, Shepard. We're counting on you.
I need to see your skills for myself, Commander. Eden Prime will be the first of several missions together.
You'll be in charge of the ground team. Secure the beacon and get it onto the ship ASAP. Nihilus will accompany you to observe the mission.
Just give the word, Captain.
We should be getting close to Eden.
Captain, we got a problem.
What's wrong, Joker?
Transmission from Eden Prime, sir. You better see this.
Bring it up on screen.
Get down!
We are under attack, taking heavy casualties. I repeat, heavy casualties. We can't get evac. They came out of nowhere. We need...
Everything cuts out after that. No comm traffic at all. Just goes dead. There's nothing.
Reverse and hold at 38.5.
Behold, they bear witness to an event akin to the arrival of a god. An engine of insurmountable destruction. A herald of the great darkness that swallowed entire galaxies before and is bound to do so again.
Status report.
17 minutes out, Captain. No other Alliance ships in the area.
Take us in, Joker, fast and quiet. This mission just got a lot more complicated.
A small strike team can move quickly, without drawing attention. It's our best chance to secure the beacon.
Grab your gear and meet us in the cargo hold. Tell Alenko and Jenkins to suit up, Commander. You're going in.
The image of the colossal warship burned into Shepard's mind. A behemoth from dark seas beyond, unfurling its massive mechanical appendages, poised to grasp yet another world in its suffocating grip.
Engaging stealth systems. Somebody was doing some serious digging here, Captain.
Your team's the muscle in this operation, Commander. Go in heavy and head straight for the dig site.
What about survivors, Captain?
Helping survivors is a secondary objective. The beacon's your top priority.
Approaching drop point 1.
Nihilus, you coming with us?
I move faster on my own.
Nihilus will scout out ahead. He'll feed you status reports throughout the mission. Otherwise, I want radio silence.
We've got his back, Captain.
The mission's yours now, Shepard. Good luck!
We are approaching drop point 2.
Commander Shepard, I was hoping you'd get here first. Give us a chance to talk. I'm interested in this world we're going to, Eden Prime. I've heard it's quite beautiful.
They say it's a paradise.
Yes, a paradise. Serene, tranquil, safe. Eden Prime has become something of a symbol for your people, hasn't it? Proof that humanity can not only establish colonies across the galaxy, but also protect them. But how safe is it really?
Do you know something?
The galaxy can be a very dangerous place.
I think it's about time we told the commander what's really going on.
This mission is far more than a simple shakedown run.
I already figured that out.
A research team on Eden Prime unearthed some kind of beacon during an excavation. It was Prothean.
We all owe the Protheans a great debt.
I thought the Protheans vanished 50,000 years ago.
Their legacy still remains. The mass relays, the Citadel, our ship drives. It's all based on Prothean technology.
We need to bring the beacon back to the Citadel for proper study.
I'd like to know more about Eden Prime before we touch down.
Eden Prime is one of our oldest and most successful colonies. It's a peaceful farming world. It symbolizes humanity's growth and evolution as a spacefaring species. And after this, it will be known as the world where humans made a discovery of galactic importance.
Captain, we got a problem.
What's wrong, Joker?
Transmission from Eden Prime, sir. You better see this.
Bring it up on screen.
Get down! We are under attack, taking heavy casualties. I repeat, heavy casualties.
Reverse and hold at 38.5. Tell Alenko and Jenkins to suit up, Commander. You're going in.
Ready and able, sir.
The mission's yours now, Shepard. Good luck!
Engaging stealth systems. Somebody was doing some serious digging here, Captain. We are approaching drop point 2.
The squad set foot planetside. The Normandy maneuvered above their heads and ascended into orbit.
Ship perimeter secured, Commander.
Nihilus's update came fast.
This place got hit hard, Commander. Hostiles everywhere. Keep your guard up.
He was deployed in another drop zone and scouted ahead. Shepard wasn't wrong about Eden Prime. It was beautiful beyond expectation. Lush vegetation, clear running water, rich life-supporting atmosphere, holding a striking resemblance to Earth. The planet bore its name with pride. The last vestiges of light from the sunset pierced that of the clouds of ash and destruction in the distance, bathing the landscape crimson red. Commander Shepard gave the order to scout ahead. Standard reconnaissance was necessary to formulate a better plan moving forward. An eerie calmness cloaked the destructive tension that followed the sudden attack on Eden Prime. The commander thought he noticed something in the distance. There, behind the clouds of ash, it resembled a warship. He rushed back for a better vantage point. For a moment, he stood in place, gazing over the cliff. The destruction was more widespread than he initially thought. The entire defending forces were wiped out. He used the sniper scope to better surveil. Smoke was billowing from every Alliance structure in the distance. How could such widespread destruction take place in mere hours? There, towards the east, recent signs of attack. The limited human Alliance defenders must have held bravely.
We are under attack, taking heavy. Get evac. They came out of nowhere. We need.
The battle was brief, albeit devastating. The invasion was over in mere hours. Two bodies laid on top of rocks, burned to a crisp, still smoldering. Shepard received his darkest baptism of fire back on Akuz, when his entire platoon was slaughtered. He was the only survivor. It branded him forever. He had gazed into the gaping maw of death and emerged, scarred but alive. This would be a feat that he will be cursed to repeat many times over in the coming wars. Still, the sight of these smoldering bodies only foreshadowed what was in store for him on Eden Prime. He noticed tracks leading towards a small lake, footprints in the sludge and mud up until the water's edge. Shepard called Caden and Jenkins to follow him. They had been with Shepard for a few missions and learned to trust his instincts. Broken reeds downstream. The dust and ash had colored the water black and difficult to traverse. The squad sheathed their weapons. Dead end. But the commander's striking skills were correct. Someone had stashed some medical supplies here. They rushed back. Local fauna seemed harmless enough. Caden asked the commander if he could take a moment to examine the bodies. Shepard gave him a quick nod in agreement and took point ahead. Caden looked closer. Lack of any protective gear suggests that these were colonists, not armed forces, possibly attempting to take shelter away from the epicenter of the attack. Fatal burns, unlike anything the lieutenant had ever seen. Recently deceased, still smoldering with a nauseating essence, suggesting deeper tissue damage that persisted. While Commander Shepard scouted ahead and Lieutenant Alenko took some quick samples, Corporal Jenkins was visibly shaken. His eyes fixated on the burned colonists. His palms were sweaty inside his jumpsuit. The air, heavy with smoke, forced him to cough violently. The commander returned and gave the order to proceed. There was still a lot of ground to cover, and the trail of bodies continued. Open ground. Funneled. Ambush. He signaled the squad to stop moving. And waved to Jenkins to move to a flanking position. Shepard sprinted towards Jenkins. Amidst the broken wreckage of Geth drones laid the fallen soldier. Caden took his pulse, sighed, and closed his comrade's eyes.
Ripped right through his shields. Never had a chance.
The grass, caressed by the warm winds rising over the destruction in the horizon, nuzzled Jenkins' body. His blood, now escaping through his pierced armor, weaving crimson threads upon the water, clashing with the toxic fuels from the Geth. The commander knew he had little time to spare, but kneeled, removed his Omnitool gauntlet, and pressed his bare hand on Jenkins' chest plate, now shredded and still hot from Geth fire. Shepard removed the corporal's dog tag, tied it on his shotgun, and lowered his head. He arose to address Caden.
We'll see that he receives a proper service once the mission is complete, but I need you to stay focused.
Aye, aye, sir.
Geth drones. These were reconnaissance drones used by the Geth, usually to either scout ahead of the main force or left behind to patrol for enemy combatants. Although they seem weak at first glance, they can be deadly in larger swarm formations, maneuvering rapidly and darting across the battlefield. They are equipped with lower capacity Geth assault rifles and can infiltrate enemy remote locations with ease, gathering intel and constantly updating other Geth. In truth, they fulfilled their objective in their skirmish. Now, it is time for Shepard to fulfill his. He calibrated his rifle and moved ahead.
Some burned-out buildings here, Shepard. A lot of bodies. I'm gonna check it out. I'll try to catch up with you at the dig site.
Jenkins was now in the embrace of this broken paradise, the place where he was born and raised, his true home. You lay in human soil now, kid. Rest well. We will avenge you. The commander had to rush to meet Nihilus in the location he specified. If nothing else, he must obey the commands of his captain to support the Turian Spectre. Shepard paused. His fists clenched his sidearm. Another choke point. He equipped his rifle and moved to high ground for recon. Fire raged among the rubble above the cliff. No hope of survivors? The dreadful silence was shattered. An Alliance soldier. The commander sprinted ahead while Caden provided support. More Geth, main force assault troopers. parts of their physiological design betray their Quarian creator's image. With the commander next to her, the Alliance soldier steeled her nerves, leapt out of cover, and fought back with renewed ferocity. Kaidan provided suppressing fire, but was dangerously hit. Overkill.
Thanks for your help, Commander. I didn't think I was gonna make it. Gunnery Chief Ashley Williams of the 212. You the one in charge here, sir?
Are you wounded, Williams?
A few scrapes and burns, nothing serious. The others weren't so lucky. Oh man. We were patrolling the perimeter when the attack hit. We tried to get off a distress call, but they cut off our communications. I've been fighting for my life ever since.
Kaidan was pacing nervously.
Where's the rest of your squad?
We tried to double back to the beacon, but we walked into an ambush. I don't think any of the others... I think I'm the only one left.
This isn't your fault, Williams. You couldn't have done anything to save them.
Yes, sir. We held our position as long as we could, until the Geth overwhelmed us.
The Geth haven't been seen outside the Veil in nearly 200 years. Why are they here now?
They must have come for the beacon. The dig site is close, just over that rise. It might still be there.
We could use your help, Williams.
Aye, aye, sir. It's time for payback.
Move out.
The beacon's at the far end of this trench.
Barbaric. The broken bodies of the captives, impaled in such a macabre display. This reminded Shepard of the wars fought in the old ages of Firth's history, when Terrans indulged in despicable acts of cruelty. He was raised in the streets of Terra, in black bile and death gangs. He survived the onslaught of Akuz. But this was beyond his comprehension, especially for synthetic armies, and definitely something that the Geth did not learn from their Quarian creators. Gunnery Chief Ashley Williams stood frozen for a moment. Her knees weakened. Her rifles felt heavier on her back. It is highly likely that she knew those colonists while stationed there with her unit. She averted her gaze and pressed on with her new team. The commander moved cautiously, with Kaidan following orders in tow. But Ashley's lust for vengeance was overflowing inside her. She stood her position defiantly, exposed and out of cover, unleashing a barrage of fire upon the invaders. Shepard rushed in to attract enemy fire and shield Ashley. Recent excavation. Signs of rushed transportation.
This is the dig site. The beacon was right here. It must have been moved.
By who? Our side or the Geth?
Hard to say. Maybe we'll know more after we check out the research camp.
You think anyone got out of here alive?
If they were lucky. Maybe hiding up in the camp. It's just on the top of this ridge, up the ramps.
Nihilus' voice echoed in Normandy's comms.
Change of plans, Shepard. There's a small spaceport up ahead. I want to check it out. I'll wait for you there.
Indeed, Nihilus was moving fast alone. A few supplies couldn't hurt. Shepard surveilled the location and inquired his comrades about their thoughts.
It used to be beautiful here.
Smells like smoke and death.
Looks like they hit the camp hard.
It's a good place for an ambush. Keep your guard up.
The bizarre spikes towered among the ruins. Synthetic moans sent shivers down the spines of the squad. Strange tubes with geth liquid protruding from the corpses, neon lights flickered and came alive as the bodies of the colonists now twisted and twitched with new purpose.
Oh God, they're still alive.
What did the Geth do to them?
Shields down.
All targets down.
Now we know what those spikes are for. Turning our own dead against us.
It must take a few hours for the spikes to turn people into husks. That door, it's closed. Security lock's engaged.
Humans, thank the Maker.
Hurry, close the door before they come back.
Nihilus was rushing ahead faster. Did the Spectre not spot the human survivors?
Don't worry, we'll protect you.
Thank you. I think we'll be okay now. It looks like everyone's gone.
You're Dr. Warren, the one in charge of the excavation. Do you know what happened to the beacon?
It was moved to the spaceport this morning. Manuel and I stayed behind to help pack up the camp. When the attack came, the Marines held them off long enough for us to hide. They gave their lives to save us.
No one is saved. The age of humanity is ended. Soon, only ruin and corpses will remain.
What else can you tell me about the attack?
It all happened so fast. 1 second we were gathering up our equipment. The next we were hiding in the shed while the Geth swarmed over the camp.
Agents of the destroyers, bringers of darkness, heralds of our extinction.
We could hear the battle outside. Gunfire, screams. I thought it would never end. Then everything went quiet. We just sat there, too afraid to move, until you came along.
Did you notice a Turian in the area?
I saw him, the Prophet, leader of the enemy. He was here before the attack.
That's impossible. Nihilus was with us in the Normandy before the attack. He couldn't have been here.
I'm sorry. Manuel's still a bit unsettled. We haven't seen your Turian. We've been hiding in here since the attack.
Can you tell me anything about the beacon?
It's some type of data module from a galaxy-wide communications network. Remarkably well preserved. It could be the greatest scientific discovery of our lifetime. Miraculous new technologies, groundbreaking medical advances. Who knows what secrets are locked inside?
We have unearthed the heart of evil, awakened the beast, unleashed the darkness.
Manuel, please. This isn't the time.
What's wrong with your assistant?
Manuel has a brilliant mind, but he's always been a bit unstable. Genius and madness are two sides of the same coin.
Is it madness to see the future? To see the destruction rushing towards us? To understand there is no escape, no hope? No, I am not mad. I'm the only sane one left.
I gave him an extra dose of his meds after the attack.
The scientist seems mentally affected by whatever he witnessed.
Williams, take us to the spaceport.
You can't stop it. Nobody can stop it. Night is falling. The darkness of eternity.
Hush, Manuel. Go lie down. You'll feel better once the medication kicks in.
With the survivors safe, the commander pressed on, eager to meet up with Nihilus, who, unfortunately, was about to make a bitter revelation about another allied Spectre.
Saren. Nihilus. This isn't your mission, Saren. What are you doing here?
The Council thought you could use some help on this one.
I wasn't expecting to find the Geth here. The situation's bad.
Don't worry. I've got it under control.
A lone shot broke the silence.
What is that? Off in the distance.
It's a ship. Look at the size of it.
Bear witness, a harbinger of dark tidings yet to come. The squad looked upwards towards the shattered heavens. The earth trembled, the skies broke apart, and the massive warship ascended. Gunnery Chief Williams, Lieutenant Alenko, and Commander Shepard gazed at the colossal warship, their eyes shackled by the image of this eldritch, enigmatic monstrosity, its departure tearing the ground to its very foundations. The skies tore asunder with a shriek bellowing from 1,000 synthetic vaults. Corrupted circuits producing a synthetic cacophony that pierced and shattered the minds of the fragile mortals underneath. Its massive hull vibrating with unholy frequencies of blasphemous, incomprehensible design. The squad was frozen in place, witnessing the departure of a god being among the stars of old. An eerie sense of disbelief was still carved on their faces, their visors going haywire, spewing arbitrary data points, accessing seemingly random logs and files. And just as abruptly as their minds were caught, they were suddenly released. Their senses bashed them back into reality, the taste of metal clinging to their tongue. The air now felt tainted with an unnatural, putrid stench. It stung the eyes and bit at their skin. Before they had a chance to process what really transpired, the source of the foul odor was revealed once more. In fact, it was being awakened right in front of them. Mechanical roars echoed from the distance, forcing Ashley's trigger finger to twitch. The enormous Geth spikes descended once more, releasing the corrupted colonists from their synthetic nightmares. Bones hardened into metal, flesh turned into eldritch circuits. Blood and warmth succumbed to acid and the purity of cold metal. They were now husks, driven by hollow rage from a new master. A cruel parody of human life, soulless puppets dancing to simulated whims from above. human no longer. Their neon-lit eyes slowly started to flicker and dim, low glottal sounds escaping their mouths, the last vestiges of their stolen humanity, hopefully finding whatever peace this form may offer. Ashley's gaze was fixed on the shattered horizon. She remembered the massive warship all too well. Tentacles looming overhead, revealing unspeakable darker horrors underneath. The screaming of the colonists, her squad torn apart, a synthetic tide consuming the colony. A stark contrast to her previous memory of this place. She remembered toasting drinks with her unit amidst grateful locals on lazy shifts. Now, the crimson sky of Eden wept for its fallen children. Smoke and death engulfed this fallen paradise. Beneath her feet, vegetation withered, decaying from the contamination brought by the synthetic incursion. Eden has fallen. After 200 years, the Geth had finally emerged beyond the veil. Why? Why here? Why now? Still, communication silence from Nihilus. Where is he? The commander walked towards a nearby secure bunker. He let Ashley have this brief moment to compose herself. He pointed his firearm at the nearby crates and looked at Kaidan. Kaidan acknowledged the order and proceeded to examine them. Strange insignia, weathered and windswept through usage and time. Kaidan raised his Omnitool to hack and unlock the crate before he noticed that a simple hit in the rusty, obsolete lock opened it with ease. Lackluster security measures, decoy panels on the side, hidden compartments at the bottom. These are smuggled goods, certainly not used by farmers. Weapons, grenades, experimental prototypes. Shepard took a swing in one of the fake panels, revealing an older datapad. Speak with Vito. Take down Zaid. Who's Zaid? Arms dealers? Smugglers? Batarian slave traders? Blue Suns? Shepard looked up. He heard voices inside the bunker. He bypassed the security door.
Everybody stay calm out there! We're coming out, we're not armed!
3 survivors came forth reluctantly, clothes ripped, pale faces, hands trembling, desperation in their eyes, a trail of blooded footsteps behind them.
Is it safe? Are they gone?
You're okay now. Nobody's gonna hurt you.
We owe you our lives.
I still can't believe it. When we saw that ship, I thought it was all over.
Do you know anything about the Protean beacon they dug up?
We're just farmers. We heard they found something out there, but it never really mattered to us.
What else can you tell me about the ship you saw?
Tell them about the noise, Cole. That awful noise.
It was emitting some kind of signal as it descended. It sounded like the shriek of the damned. It was coming from inside your own head.
It was probably trying to block communications.
Whatever it was, felt like it was tearing right through my skull. Almost made it impossible to think.
Hey, Cole, we're just a bunch of farmers. These guys are soldiers. Maybe we should give them the stuff.
Jeez, Blake, you gotta learn when to shut up.
You have something to tell me, Cole?
Some guys at the spaceport were running a small smuggling ring, nothing major. In exchange for a cut of the profits, we let them store packages in our sheds.
We're risking our lives to save this colony. You sure there's nothing else in here that could help us out?
Yeah, there's one more thing. I was gonna sell it after this was over, but you probably deserve it more than I do.
I have to go.
Good luck.
The squad pressed forward. A fallen soldier, is that Nihilus?
Commander, it's Nihilus.
Nihilus laid sprawled on the ground, motionless. His eyes, once filled with determination, now stared blankly into the void as data updates continued to appear. Shepard looked closely. Geth weaponry fired at the back of his head. Close proximity, too close for a sneak attack by a Geth unit. His blood pooled beneath him, but no Geth liquid, no signs of struggle. What happened here? They heard something.
Something's moving, over behind those crates.
Wait, don't shoot! I'm one of you! I'm human!
A figure crouched behind the overturned crates appeared. eyes wide with fear.
Sneaking up on us like that nearly got you killed.
I'm sorry, I was hiding from those creatures. My name's Powell. I saw what happened to that Turian. The other one shot him.
I need to know how Nihilus died.
The other one got here first. He was waiting when your friend showed up. He called him Saren. I think they knew each other. Your friend seemed to relax. He let his guard down, and Saren killed him. Shot him right in the back. I'm just lucky he didn't see me behind the crates.
We were told a Prothean beacon was brought to the spaceport. What happened to it?
It's over on the other platform, probably where that guy Saren was headed. He hopped on the cargo train right after he killed your friend. I knew that beacon was trouble. Everything's gone to hell since we found it. First that damn mothership showed up, then the attack. They killed everyone. Everyone. If I hadn't been behind the crates, I'd be dead too.
Anything hidden nearby that we could use against the Geth?
A shipment of grenades came through last week. Nobody notices if a few small pieces go missing from the military orders.
We're out here trying to protect your sorry ass, and all you can think about is how you can rip us off?
I never thought you'd actually need those grenades. Who'd want to attack Eden Prime? We're just a bunch of farmers. How was I supposed to know? They're yours. Take them. My smuggling days are over, I swear.
A lot of Marines died here, Powell. Those grenades could have come in handy. If I were you, I'd think of some way to make it up to them.
The smuggler lowered his head in shame. Shepard's words weighted heavily on his conscience.
We need to find that beacon before it's too late.
Take the cargo train. That's where the other Turian went.
Set the charges. Destroy the entire colony. Leave no evidence that we were here.
They pressed on. Shepard led the way. The maglev train to the side was engulfed in flames, and the entire platform was utterly destroyed. The Geth, and whoever this Saren was, they were cutting off access to the spaceport. The only path ahead was a treacherous, narrow platform guarded by the Geth. Neon lights activated and flickered in unison. Data and directives flowed through the Geth local network. The remaining units rapidly processed information from all previous encounters of the squad within Eden Prime from the other fallen Geth. Within mere nanoseconds, the Geth units reached consensus. A destroyer must be awakened, poised to annihilate any who dared approach. The commander assessed his options. A grim realization settled in. One of his own had fallen by Geth fire. A council specter was ambushed by another Turian. The colony had fallen to a forgotten enemy, and the advancing Geth left sizable forces behind to keep any defenders from reaching that beacon. Unbeknownst to Shepard, the Turian assailant was also planting demolition charges. Time was running out. Shepard shouted as Geth fire whizzed over their heads. "Williams, cover us! Make 'em count!" "Aye, aye, Commander," Ashley answered, entrenching herself at the platform's edge. He then looked at Kaidan. "Lieutenant Alenko," his voice slicing through the chaos. "Commander," Kaidan responded, tense yet ready to advance. Shepard's voice was a mix of resolve and desperation. "Lieutenant, overclock your L2 implants." Kaidan understood the risks all too well. Overclocking his implants could result in permanent neurological damage or death. Yet he knew Shepard couldn't make this request unless it was absolutely necessary. "Acknowledged, Commander," he shouted back without hesitation. Shepard's eyes reassured Kaidan, burning with calculated fury. "Lieutenant, sir, go bright, go hard." Kaidan gave a quick nod and activated his Omni-tool. He stepped backwards out of cover while Shepard and Ashley tried to buy him some time. He closed his eyes, bracing for the new shock. Biotic energy stabbed through his spine, his body contorting from pain. Cold sweat, blurred vision, searing agony. And then a moment of tranquility. Kaidan answered with a noticeable deeper voice.
It is done.
Kaidan opened his eyes. Black orbs filled with raw power. A violent silver light swirled within them. Sparks of energy swelled through his fingertips, assaulting the Geth. Electronics malfunctioned, shields down, weapons overheated and fell silent. Arcs of biotic energy crackling from his skin.
Redemption through adversity. Ascension for humanity.
Geth destroyer charging! Ashley yelled. As more Geth troopers mobilized in the distance, the fearsome destroyer charged with relentless force, shaking the steel platform beneath them. A terrifying feat of Geth engineering. The commander unsheathed Iron Maw and charged towards the destroyer. Shotgun roared. Chunks of Geth circuitry was breaking apart with each hit, while synthetic liquid pierced out of broken cables. Kaidan's biotic attacks twisted its metallic form. Shepard pulled the trigger between the metallic plates at its core. This one's for the kid. Jenkins' tag was still tied on Iron Maw. It flailed about from the recoil like a frenzied, haunted pendulum, desperately attempting to defend his homeland. Toxic sludge splashed onto it as the destroyer fell, carving a jagged scar in the metal, etching this tale of home and sacrifice. Shepard sprinted ahead. The maglev would take them to the beacon.
Hurry! We need to find them all and shut them down!
Rally round.
Shepard unsheathed Apollo, Sun's prophecy. Prothean artifact laid before them in almost deafening silence, pulsing, waiting, the crushing weight of its shadow towering before them. Mission completed, or so they thought. The commander contacted the Normandy.
Normandy, the beacon is secure.
This is amazing. Actual working Prothean technology. Unbelievable.
It wasn't doing anything like that when they dug it up. Something must have activated it.
Roger, Normandy. Standing by.
Whispers carrying the weight of millennia.
Your demise approaches. They cannot be stopped. You will not be spared.
Consumed by a never-ending cycle.
The cycle will repeat. You must
Shepard!
beware of the
No, don't touch it! Too dangerous!
Reaper sovereign. Life must endure. Find us in Ilos.
We identified the ship that touched down on Eden Prime. The Normandy, a human alliance vessel. It was under the command of Captain Anderson. They managed to save the colony.
And the beacon.
One of the humans may have used it.
This human must be eliminated. Life must endure.
Hey everyone! Thank you all for tuning in during March Effect month for this dark, epic narrative of my favorite series. Hopefully, I managed to stir up a few feelings for you. I have so many topics and videos in the pipeline at the moment, but I am planning to return back to Mass Effect in the future. It cannot be helped. It's already inside my mind like the Prothean warning. I cannot help it. I must return back to Mass Effect. Thank you all for watching. See you in the next one. Go bright, go hard.